Hey, thanks for joining me on Perkstream for January 23rd, 2023. It probably goes without saying, but Jesus sometimes is just unpredictable. Well, thanks for stopping by. It's good to spend some time with you. Let's sit down here for a moment and talk about Jesus. We started talking about him out of the book of Mark, how Jesus is something other than we usually expect. And sometimes he does things that scares us a little bit. Right out of the chute, Mark was sharing how Jesus is the Christ, the Son of God. And that left us realizing that if he is the Christ, if he's the anointed one, if he's the Son of God, there is no other. And then there's this other part where Jesus calms a storm and it actually freaks out the disciples even more. And that Jesus can do things that kind of put us on edge where we kind of still feel afraid. Well, there's another element to Jesus, and that's that Jesus is unpredictable. Like when he goes to feed 5,000 people. Well, I don't think he set out to feed 5,000 people. He set out to teach 5,000 people, and they were all hungry. And the disciples came to him and said, "Master, we need to send these people out so they can go get food." And here's the unpredictable part. Jesus says, "Will you give them something to eat?" I don't know about you, but that's unpredictable. It's like, where do you think I'm going to get that, Jesus? What do you think I could magically do? I don't have my kneading trough here. I don't have my goods here. I don't have any bread here. I How am I supposed to do that, Jesus? And I don't know how the disciples really took that at the moment, but I'm pretty sure it was pretty unnerving. And so I look at that and go, here's Jesus being unpredictable. And then he's going to teach them a lesson by doing a very unmiraculous miracle. He's going to say, go have everybody sit down, bring me what you have, and let's work with it. And that's usually where we go with this story. We say, bring Jesus whatever you have, and he'll multiply it out, and it'll be enough for everybody. Well, here's the thing that I find in the story. In this story, the 5,000 people really don't know where the bread came from. They didn't know if Jesus had a stash. Obviously, there's no carts around, no food trucks. So Jesus had this stash of food. The disciples knew something happened. The disciples knew something happened after they dealt with the shock of having to figure it out for themselves and realizing they didn't have it. And maybe that's even the other thing that Jesus puts us sometimes in situations where he's going to say, well, why don't you do something? And we're going to go, I don't know what to do. I don't have anything to do with. And then Jesus says, great, now we can start from here. Jesus's unpredictability and maybe putting something back on us is really meant to get us to think, wow, it's not us. It's not us, it's him. And that's really what I think Mark is trying to get at in the whole of his book. It's not us, it's him. He's the Son of God. He's the calmer of the seas. He's the provider of the bread. Our job is to work with him. And when he says, hey, I want you to do this, go, okay, Lord, we'll do this. I'll do this, but I don't have what I need. Only you do. And that's why I think that's where Jesus goes, okay, now we can get started. So however that fits into your life right now, maybe you're considering some ministry either within the church or outside the church. Maybe you're considering where can you serve God, and you just have this kind of feeling like God's going to ask you to do something that's bigger than you are. And Jesus is going to say, you give them something to eat. You give them the resources that they need. You do this for them, and you're going to go, I can't do it. And Jesus says, okay, that's where we'll start from. That's where we're going to go from. And so we learn to rely on Jesus because at the end of the day, it's all about Jesus. That's who we want people to meet, right? We don't want them to see us and think that we did something. We want them to meet Jesus who did do something. So let's do that together, right? Let's trust that Jesus is with us. And when we get asked to do something that's so much bigger than we are, we go, okay, Lord, You already know I don't have what I need. Can you provide it? I'll work with you. Thanks for stopping by. Have a great day.